Hello, my name is James Valdes. I'm a second-year MBA student and Center for Digital Strategies Fellow at the Tuck School of Business at Dartmouth. I am pleased to welcome Mike Gualtieri, Principal Analyst at Forrester, who is joining us as part of the Brit Technology Impact Series. Mike, welcome, and thank you for being here.
Thanks, James.
As part of the series this year, our main topic is big data, and we'd love to get your insights on the topic and where you see the topic going.
Sure. Well, big data, the term, what does that really mean? There's really two ways to describe it. There's sort of a technical definition of it, and there's a business definition. So maybe I should give you the technical definition first. It refers to huge amounts of data is really the only way to describe it. There's a lot more data being generated. I mean, if you think about it, more people are using technology through mobile phones. There's more systems generating data. And so the more data you get, the more you have to handle it. So you have to have new ways of storing it, new ways of processing it. From the business side of things, big data refers to having an enormous number of variables that you can use to create predictive models, that you can use to gain deeper business insights, make better business decisions, and especially personalized experiences for your customers. So big data is sort of this phenomenon that has its roots in technology from just handling this enormous amount of new data. And from a business side, how can we use that data? How can we find knowledge in that data that we didn't know before?
Great, great. Do you have any favorite examples or stories of how people are using and companies are using big data and the power and the possibility of it going forward?
If you think about a search engine, the way a search engine works is it takes an enormous amount of data, all the data on the web, processes it so that when you type in a phrase, whatever it may be, it gives you results that you feel are very relevant.
Sure.
And so that's really a customer experience you're having. That is kind of an example of big data. In fact, that's kind of where the term originated from the big web properties, and not just Google, but Yahoo, and a lot of because they started dealing with this big data. Businesses kind of got wind of this, and so now they're interested in big data as well. So big data in business is being used to predict whether customers will churn. Like in telecom, will you switch wireless carriers? It's being used in healthcare to try to figure out, to prevent second readmittance in hospitals. It's being certainly used by marketing people to target advertising on the web. So there's essentially wherever there's data, there's sort of some opportunity to find out things you didn't know before.
Definitely, definitely. And what do you see as some of the limitations for big data?
Well, certainly some of the technical limitations are firms' technical ability to actually store this data. Enterprise data warehouses were very popular for aggregating data from all the different business systems they've had into one so they could do reporting and they could do insights on it. Sure. But there's a lot of unstructured data too that they have to deal with, like from comment fields or Twitter data or social analysis data. So they need more storage. And have you heard of Hadoop?
Yes.
Yeah, so Hadoop is kind of, in fact, many people think that big data and Hadoop are synonymous, because there's been such an association. But Hadoop is a storage technology and a processing technology. So there's that technical challenge with big data. On the business side, the challenge is the techniques used to find insights in this data. Okay, and I'm not talking about reporting. I'm not talking about add all these up or tell me how many times this happened. That's important, but what's really important is what else can you tell me about my customers, or what else can you tell me about my operations? What sort of predictive models can I use to determine what actions I should take to make smarter decisions in the future?
So, Mike, what do you see as some of the biggest challenges that we should expect to face in big data going forward?
Well, I mentioned a lot of the technical challenges, which are largely being overcome. I mean, technology was the first to respond to this big data. So, in terms of storing and processing the data, we've got technology. On the business side, one of the biggest challenges is how to use this data. And there's this term out there, data scientists. And data scientists are in great demand right now. And these are people who can look through this data, they can run certain algorithms in the data to find predictive models, to find these gems in that data. So one of the challenges is just having the talent, the talent and the tools that can go through this data. I think another challenge is going to be, all right, once we find that knowledge, how do we put it to action?
Definitely.
You know, because now that you know something, you know something. How are you going to deploy it? How are you going to change how you do business to be more competitive?
Sure. And then our final question, following up, is there any last words that you'd like to share with the Tuck community on big data?
Yes, I would say that big data is a trend that's going to continue, and it's much more of a business trend than I think other trends that we've seen in the past. But it's not a silver bullet.
Sure.
It's not like the one future of business. There's a huge tie-in to big data in mobile. Our estimates show that by 2016, 1 billion people on the planet will be using smartphones and tablets, and that's only going to increase. Those people are generating more data, they're consuming more data, and that's going to be a big generator of this data, and that's also an outlet to provide user experiences based upon the knowledge we gain from that data.
Fantastic. Well, Mike, on behalf of the Center for Digital Strategies, I would like to thank you for taking the time to speak with us and sharing your insights and knowledge. This has been James Valdes for the Center for Digital Strategies at Dartmouth. Thank you.